If you suffer from ear ringing, buzzing, or hissing, this is what is happening inside your brain every time you hear a tinnitus sound. Top MIT researchers have recently discovered the disturbing root cause of ear ringing for the first time ever. According to their experiments, and despite popular belief, tinnitus goes much, much deeper than your eardrums, to a very thin wire spiraling from your ears all the way through your brain. In fact, studies from the University of Illinois and the Deafness Research Institute UK confirm that untreated ear buzzing may in fact be responsible for damaging your brain networks, literally burning your brain cells and erasing your memories. In other words, right now, your hearing and brain health are literally hanging by a thin thread that is getting weaker with every screeching sound or pulsing. And if you don't do anything about it as soon as possible, you are risking deafness or even worse, memory loss or chronic brain disorders. The sad and urgent truth is that tinnitus is wearing your brain out by the minute. But even though this is not easy to hear, know that there is hope, as these latest breakthroughs regarding tinnitus have also led to the discovery of a completely natural and inexpensive method that makes it possible for you to strengthen and repair the ear-brain wire, get your life back, and finally say goodbye to all the ringing, buzzing, clicking, and pulsing in your ears starting today. Stay with me, and in the next 5 minutes you'll discover why more and more Americans hear noises even though there's nothing physically wrong with their ears. Why your untreated ear buzzing may in fact be responsible for literally burning your brain cells and erasing your memories. How coming across a classified surgery on deaf people from 1950 led me to one of the biggest medical secrets in Big Pharma's history. What government and Army officials are privately doing to get rid of their tinnitus, and the simple 10-second method that you can use starting today to finally hit the mute button on ear ringing. This solution is so incredibly powerful that it has been clinically proven to work regardless of your age, medical condition, or the severity and length of your tinnitus. And without having you to spend a single red cent on hearing aids, dangerous chemical-filled medications, painful ear flushing, risky surgeries, or useless sound therapies. In fact, military doctors see it as a miraculous key that can unlock the regeneration of the nervous system, as well as brain rejuvenation. So even if you've been suffering from tinnitus, thinking you're bound to live with this sickening sound for the rest of your life, even if you've lost all hope in the medical system, thinking there's no escape for you, it's crucial that you stick with me until the very end of my story, because in a few moments you'll find out how to shut off that cringing sound that's been ruining your life and feel completely normal again. Just imagine enjoying a quiet and peaceful time every day, being able to hear your own thoughts again and to finally unwind. No more headaches, dizziness, or anxiety. No more constantly feeling angry and depressed. Forget the dreadful sleepless nights when you were tossing and turning, praying for just a second of silence and fearing that the next day might be even worse. No longer having to struggle at work trying to figure out what your colleagues are saying or pretending you're focused and serene when that piercing buzz is driving you insane. Moreover, regaining your social life, finally being able to take a break, go out with your friends and family, carry on long conversations, even in noisy places, just like roughly 200,000 other people did. People like,
I never thought I would get to see the day when my ringing stopped, but I did. Oh my God, after 5 horrible years, I can think, I can sleep, I can relax. I feel like a human being again. God bless you.
If it were up to me, I would have never used your method. Your theory just sounded crazy, no offense, but my wife kept insisting. I still can't believe it's been 1 month since I haven't heard any whooshing or hissing. I feel reborn. Hope many more honest folks found out about this.
My right ear was driving me insane. It was like a horrifying, continuous screeching. I was always tense like a bowstring. I'm an Army man, but I swear to you, I cried like a baby the day the screeching was gone. Now I spend long hours in the forest, listening to the birds. My family thinks I've gone insane, but little do they know what I've been through. And to think I might not have ever discovered this solution sends shivers down my spine.
Now, if you've suffered from tinnitus for any length of time, I'm sure you're curious to find out all about this inexpensive method. So let's not waste any more time. It's time you broke the tinnitus curse. I want you to know who I am, why my unusual discovery turned the medical world upside down while saving thousands of lives, and why pharmaceutical giants and drug manufacturers are willing to spill blood in order to keep tinnitus sufferers away from it. Also, I want you to find out how exactly it will help you finally achieve the peace of mind you deserve in less than just a few weeks from today. Hi, my name is Patrick Bark. I'm 50 years old and I live in a small town in Virginia, together with my wife Sylvia and my 10-year-old daughter Carrie. I've been an anatomy professor at one of the most prestigious U.S. universities for over 25 years now. I take a lot of pride in my work as it allows me to meet, teach, and assist hundreds of brilliant students, genius doctors, and alternative medicine experts in their research and discoveries. But the best part of my job, besides attending tens of exclusive medical conferences each year, is getting invited by my ex-students, now well-reputed doctors, to take part in their experiments. This is how I got the chance to witness breakthroughs from the universities like Stanford, Harvard, or Columbia, and see life-changing treatments see the light of day. Of course, none of them compare to the tinnitus solution I'm about to reveal to you. It all began 2 years ago on a Sunday. I was dressing myself to go out with my wife and daughter when this paralyzing screeching sound hit me out of the blue. I walked around the room and then around the house trying to figure out where it was coming from. I even pulled out the plug on the TV, on the computer, and on the fridge, hoping it was just a broken device. Nevertheless, the sound wasn't coming from outside either. It seemed it was coming from inside my ears, or so I thought back then. After 7 days of carrying this morbid noise everywhere with me, I started to panic. I couldn't rest. I couldn't focus during my classes. I was always tense. I knew about tinnitus, but I refused to believe it was anything but temporary. Maybe I had some minor ear infection. Maybe it was just the low barometric pressure. But after 2 months with that maddening sound drilling through my brain, I decided to go to a doctor, ready to do whatever it took to get rid of it. And that's when my worst nightmare began. Since so many of my ex-students were well-known doctors now, I managed to pull some strings and get an appointment with a top-notch ear specialist. He saw me right away, checked my ears, and did a lot of hearing tests, including an audiogram. After reviewing all the results, he said he still didn't know what was wrong with me. One thing was sure. Nothing at all was physically wrong with my ears. So he gave me some relaxing pills and recommended I see other specialists. That's how I got to wait and pray in every hallway of the hospital, hoping the next doctor I'll see will give me at least a glimpse of hope. For 3 whole months, I underwent blood tests, peed in a jar, had my neck checked, my jaw, my pulse, and pretty much had all my internal organs scanned. But every single time it ended the same way. They found absolutely nothing. Nothing was physically wrong with me, or so they believed, because at the very moment, something deeply disturbing was happening inside my brain. It was so incredibly frustrating to see every single doctor, no matter how experienced, shrug his shoulders and tell me to just rest more and take better care of myself, like I had a relax mode button that I could just turn on. It was clear that they all thought I was just being emotional and trying to dismiss me as fast as possible. But if I was 100% healthy, where did my tinnitus come from? I knew many say tinnitus is caused by exposure to loud noises, but that wasn't my case, as I worked only in quiet places like university classrooms. For the life of me, I just couldn't figure it out. I tried to tell myself that the high-pitched noise and the whooshing would eventually become something I would learn to live with, that after a while I'll get used to these sounds so that I won't even notice them. But after another 6 months, the noises went from the intermittent and annoying to continuous and at least 3 times louder. I felt like my head was splitting in two. Sometimes it wasn't just the high-pitched noise and the whooshing, it was also a pulsing and a clicking. I was so worn out, I couldn't sleep at all, and I was always angry. One time I even yelled at little Carrie for playing with a small bubble wrap in the other room. But it wasn't just tinnitus that made my life a living hell. There was something else happening. Something that paralyzed me with fear. I started getting uncontrollable hand tremors. At first it was hardly noticeable. Then there was one time when I could barely grab my morning cup of coffee. Moreover, my mind wasn't what it used to be. I once forgot what lesson I was teaching in the middle of the class. Everything was blank. I couldn't remember a thing. Another time I lost my way to the campus cafeteria, even though after 25 years I knew it with my eyes closed. It felt like my brain and my body were falling apart. Every single day had just another nasty surprise right around the corner. I was scared out of my mind. Seeing the state I was in, my wife Sylvia begged me to try new treatments, even though the doctors couldn't figure it out what was wrong with me. That didn't mean I couldn't try alternative solutions. So even though it broke our hearts, we spent half of the money we had put aside for Carrie's college on visiting more therapists, alternative medicine experts, and even psychiatrists. I never said no to anything they recommended. I tried everything. Before telling you the single method that worked, let me save you some money and tell you the treatments that did absolutely nothing for me. Hearing aids to mask the sound inside your head, expensive and annoying to wear in your ears. Antidepressant medication and sleep drugs to calm your anxiety. The only thing they do is zone you out and turn you into a zombie. Herbal remedies, acupuncture, meditation, breathing exercises. Fine for overall calming effect if you're already healthy, but they take a lot of time and are far from a cure. Sound therapies, which may distract you for a little bit, but are nowhere close to a real relief. And Hopi ear candles, on which occasion I nearly added burns to my list of problems. The fact that nothing and no one could help me filled me with even more anguish. In the morning, I could hardly pick myself up and go to work. I was so depressed, so scared this was what my life would look like from then on, that sometimes I wished I was dead. During the day, I avoided people as much as possible, including my colleagues, my friends and family. My migraines were so bad that I could not understand a word they were saying. But the nights were the worst. The silence made the sounds unbearable. I could only sleep for 5 minutes straight before waking up in agonizing pain. Then the most horrific thing happened. I checked the time. It was 5 o'clock in the morning, and the ringing was driving me crazy. Like a red-hot electric drill was boring through my brain. I felt a sudden rush of boiling blood through my ears, and the swollen veins on my forehead began to quickly pound, ready to burst. Then suddenly the throbbing, the pain, the ear ringing, everything stopped. Complete silence. I could only hear my wife's slow breathing next to me. Did my tinnitus just suddenly go away? Everything was so peaceful. After so many years, these were the first seconds of sweet peace and silence, but this was just the calm before the storm. It started with just a faded ringing coming from somewhere far, far away, which quickly began to grow, louder and louder with every second, like a runaway train speeding towards me. In an instant, I couldn't hear anything except for that damn ringing, and the searing brain pain was so excruciating that I couldn't even open my eyes. And when I felt something snap inside my head like a cable torn by a huge pressure, I lost it. This relentless anger came over me. Anger that the pain and that hellish sound wouldn't stop for one damn second. So I did something unexplainable. I started screaming from the top of my lungs, punching the walls and kicking them with my feet. Little Carrie, my daughter, woke up and started crying, which made my migraine even worse. My wife was looking at me like I was insane. Both of them were shivering with fear. "Daddy, please don't hurt us," Carrie sobbed. But I couldn't listen to her. The only thing I wanted is to purge that sound right out of my brain. I pushed both of them out of my way and went on smashing and throwing things around, eventually starting to hit my head against the bedroom door, hoping somehow I would knock myself out and make the sound stop. No matter how much my wife begged, no matter how hard my daughter was crying, I just wouldn't stop. Eventually, my wife had to call the police and the ambulance. It took 2 sturdy policemen and 2 paramedics to put me down. Then one of the doctors gave me a shot of something. "Don't worry, madam. We'll take good care of him," he said. But I knew they were taking me straight to the madhouse, and then I blacked out. I spent the next few days in the local mental hospice, where after a few checkups, the doctor said I was fine and let me come back home. But I knew I was not fine. How could I be? There was something clearly wrong with me, and it was all because of that damn ringing. I knew it. 3 weeks after the incident, all my friends and neighbors were avoiding me like the plague, and I still could not look into my wife's eyes. Carrie, the love of my life, was always trembling with fear and was afraid to sit alone in the same room with me. It was gut-wrenching. But I knew how scared they must have been to see me like that. And I was also terrified that if I couldn't fix this, next time I'd be locked up for good. Of course, I never wanted to scare my family like that, and I'll never forgive myself for putting them through that dreadful scene. But it was that precise moment that eventually led me to the inexpensive and natural method that I'm about to reveal to you. Back then, even though I knew I should have considered myself lucky to be alive, The truth was, I wish I was dead. The truth was, I was so mad. Furious at the medical system who sucks you dry then abandons you shamelessly, not caring whether you get well or not. But mostly I was mad at myself for not taking the matter into my own hands. I mean, how could I be so blind? I was working at a world-renowned university. I had access to thousands of rare medical materials, and I knew hundreds of genius professors and brilliant specialists. There had to be a real alternative out there. Otherwise, I needed to isolate myself from my family or go to the loony bin. So the next day I went through every corner of the 3-floor university library. The research was draining, and I can't tell you how many times I wanted to give up. Well, there must have been a higher power out there, because 2 weeks later, I finally found the one thing that would end up giving me and roughly 200,000 other people just like me peace of mind and life back. I'd searched the internet back and forth, read piles of books, and made a ton of inquiries with college professors and ex-students who were now medical experts and acclaimed doctors, when I came across an extremely bizarre experiment that answered one of my lifelong questions. Why do deaf people still get tinnitus? This barely moral experiment that I discovered was conducted in 1950. The researchers suggested if you have debilitating tinnitus, let's cut the auditory nerve, and then you will be deaf. You won't hear a thing, but you won't have tinnitus. Now you should know, the auditory nerve is a bundle of fibers that captures the sounds and transmits them to the brain. A few desperate patients went along with it and got their auditory nerve surgically cut, therefore becoming completely deaf. Unfortunately, their tinnitus got even louder. That's when medical researchers realized that tinnitus isn't in the ear, and it's not related to the auditory nerve. Actually, according to Deafness Research UK, deaf people are more likely to get tinnitus. In fact, and I swear to you, shivers ran down my spine when I read this, the same thing that causes tinnitus noises is thought to cause deafness itself. As I kept on digging through mountains of studies and papers, my quest uncovered a strange and worrying title. Tinnitus goes much deeper than your ears. Following this new lead on the 4th week of my quest, I finally found the key piece of the puzzle. I just couldn't believe my eyes. There it was, black and white. The 2019 breakthrough that changed everything. It said ear ringing begins with a faulty wire connected to your brain. According to Jonathan Sellin, a professor at MIT and lead author of revolutionary studies in the journal Physical Review Letters, there is a wire in the ear, a thin nerve spiraling from your inner ear to your brain, helping the sound signals that your ears collect make contact with your brain cells. This wire, or tectorial link, has been neglected for decades, while medical experts are barely just beginning to understand why it's crucial when it comes to tinnitus in our hearing. This means that when you hear a sound, it's actually your brain interpreting the electrical signals carried by the nerve. So in short, what they discovered is this. Sound vibrations enter your ear and hit your eardrum. These vibrations are quickly transformed into electric signals, which get transported to your brain via a very delicate nerve-like wire. Once these electric signals reach your brain, the brain interprets and decodes them into the whispers of your loved ones, your favorite music, TV sounds, car honks, footstep sounds, and so on. Basically, you hear what your brain hears, not what your ears hear. Now this is the perfect scenario, where every part of the system is perfectly healthy and works as it's supposed to. Your eardrum, the sound supporting wire, your brain, everything. But here's the incredible discovery which nobody has figured out so far. You can have perfectly good ears, but if this newly discovered wire is not functioning properly, it will mix up signals, causing ringing, buzzing, whooshing, or hissing. Imagine it like a broken electric wire that goes zzz and causes noisy short circuits inside your brain. Unfortunately, just like in the case of an electrical signal, one faulty wire can short circuit and completely and irreversibly melt the entire network. The noisy short circuits are stressing out the entire nervous system while burning your brain cells one by one. Even as you listen to this, every little sound that you hear must be transported to the brain, weakens the wire, thinning it more and more to the point where it might completely snap all of a sudden. That's why many sufferers hear voices like I did. That's why you might deal with brain fog, headaches, fatigue, insomnia, or memory loss. The sad and urgent truth is that tinnitus wears your brain out. All nerves and brain cells are interconnected inside your body, so one faulty, sick wire can impact the entire network. I knew so many terrifying memory loss and anxiety disorders like dementia start with a failure of brain networks, while Parkinson was a disease of the nervous system. As far as I was concerned, I was scared out of my mind. Moreover, the harsh truth was that while it was amazing that I had discovered the root cause of ear ringing, I had no idea how to fix it. At the same time, I had to do something before it was too late. For me and for millions of tinnitus sufferers whose brains and nervous systems were hanging by a thread, literally, I certainly wasn't going to just stand there, feel sorry for myself, and see what disease I get. So I went back to writing and calling every medical expert and scientist I knew, this time sending them everything I discovered. Out of 237 specialists, only one returned my call, but he was one of the most reputed brain surgeons in the USA. Dr. S was a former student and good friend of mine. I used to help him with money several times during his struggling college life, and he was always welcome at our dinner table. After years of hard work, he made it as a doctor in the United States Department of Defense. Besides being a certified genius, I remembered one more thing about him. He suffered from tinnitus. Of course, back in the day, tinnitus wasn't a problem for me, so I never really paid much attention to when they talked about it. But now, I understood immediately why he answered my call. Professor, I have a solution for you. Let's meet for coffee. Dr. S asked me to meet him at 4 p.m. sharp in front of a small pub in Virginia. He then texted me from a weird phone number not to take my smartphone with me. It was kind of odd, but when you're so desperate, you don't ask too many questions. So there we were, face to face, and I could tell that he was about to reveal something big, because when we finally began talking, he whispered almost every single word. What I'm doing now is dangerous and against the law, but it's the only right thing to do. First of all, I want you to know that everything you found is completely accurate, he continued. Dr. S had suffered from tinnitus since the age of 32. Even so, he was a true prodigy. He could perform long, complicated brain surgeries better than legendary doctors twice his age. Then he started getting inexplicable hand tremors, just like me. As you can imagine, hand tremors are the worst thing that can happen to a surgeon. That's when he accepted to join the Army Medical Department. Those guys had been making him offers for months, but he kept refusing them as he was perfectly fine helping common people at the Central Hospital. Why did he finally accept? Because he was promised he'll be part of a medical team that finds the treatment for tinnitus. You see, military men are the most affected by ear buzzing, but after investing thousands of dollars in every man's recruiting and training, there's no way the US would let a disease like tinnitus ruin perfectly good soldiers. They need to stay lucid, calm, and focused to protect the country in life or death situations, not hear voices that aren't there or lose their minds. Now, why did they need a brilliant brain surgeon so badly in their team? Because of the root cause of tinnitus, the faulty wire. After months of experimenting and testing, the US most experienced medical professionals created an ultra-secret protocol that only the nation's highest-ranking military officers and government officials knew about. The same protocol that helped Dr. S overcome his tinnitus and hand tremors. But even though Dr. S was healthier than ever, every time he saw a desperate case like mine, he felt guilty. This healing formula was available for only 0.1% of the population. Apart from the Army men, only members of the government, politicians, big corporate officials, and heads of state knew about it. Hearing all that made my blood boil. No wonder I almost screamed. What are you saying? Is this never going to be made public? I mean, the US military budget is $721.5 billion US dollars from the taxes that we, honest Americans, pay. Not to mention how many veterans are suffering from ear ringing. The country owes it at least to them. What Dr. S explained next left me dumbfounded. On one hand, the tinnitus and brain health controlled by Big Pharma sum up to over $25 billion. On the other hand, the nervous system drug market is valued at $82 billion. Not to mention all those fancy supplements that promise to increase your mental focus, to improve your sleep, or all the expensive drugs for headaches, stress, and anxiety. Why would they want one simple, powerful remedy on the market that does what a sack of pharmaceutical products can't? At best, if they'll ever release it to us for use by the general population, it would be obscenely expensive. Suddenly, I understood how crazy naive I was. Why absolutely no one from my university or from my research groups would ever help me search for a remedy for tinnitus, no matter how many studies or proofs I'd show them. Why great promising breakthroughs only made it to the news but never got implemented or launched on the market. At first, Dr. S was afraid to share the only ultra secret that could effortlessly fight tinnitus in a matter of weeks or even days. After all, this special remedy was meant to be used only by the elite who had funded it, and under no circumstances be made public. And you could be sure the American military is not joking when it comes to the rules. At the same time, he was so tired of seeing only the privileged get access to real cures, so furious at the soulless system that excluded normal folks like you and I. That's why, after reading my email hundreds of times, he finally made up his mind to help me steal the formula and teach me how I can create the ultra-powerful mix. We both knew how incredibly risky it was, as we could have lost our freedom and even our lives, but we did it anyway. After he divulged all the information, he shook my hand and wished me good luck. The very next day, I immediately got to work. By now, you could be very curious and anxious to find out what the ultimate anti-tinnitus hidden formula contains, and most importantly, how does it work and why does it work so incredibly well? Here's a short step-by-step explanation of each one of the secret ingredients used and the effects they have on the body and the nerve wire. After intensive lab testing, they have proven to be 100% effective. Only in this formula and dosages, specifically calculated and adjusted to give the best possible results against tinnitus, brain cell diseases, and nervous disorders. Step 1. Calm down your entire body to fully absorb every ingredient and quickly start the recovery process. According to data from 22 studies, relaxed people heal twice as quickly. But try relaxing with a piercing noise that's torturing your brain all the time. That's why the medical team has chosen mucuna pruriens, maca root, and ginger as the first aid trio that clears inflammation and cools off your nervous system to make sure nothing interferes with your healing. Let's start with mucuna pruriens, a little-known tropical African plant that opens up your body and nerve cells to the active bioavailable ingredients of the formula. Mucuna pruriens has the capacity to do this because it greatly increases the levels of dopamine, or the feel-good hormone in your brain. Low levels of dopamine have been linked to tinnitus during several medical studies, so it's no wonder why a strong infusion of this hormone instantly strengthens your nervous system and brain wire, preventing any further damage from the ear buzzing and protecting against neuroinflammation. Next, maca root. Maca root is a plant native in Peru, a country famous for being at a very high altitude. That's why it has been used for thousands of years by the locals to treat their altitude-induced tinnitus. Maca root will not only help your body unwind by turning down the volume on your ear ringing pretty early into the protocol, but will also uplift your mood. A 2016 study on 175 people demonstrated that taking maca every day for 12 weeks considerably improved their disposition and energy scores. You might know that ginger is one of the healthiest spices on the planet. What few people know is that ginger has the astounding ability to repair brain and neuron damage after a big shock. Its bioactive compounds wipe out inflammation in the brain cells and prevent memory loss. In fact, in a 2012 study of middle-aged subjects, daily doses of ginger extract were shown to improve the reaction time of brain cells. This will hit the acceleration on your recovery time from tinnitus even more. Keep in mind that there are no less than 1,600 species of ginger, but only one is considered to have such a remarkable neurological impact. Step 2. Stabilize and rehabilitate the faulty wire to clear your hearing from upsetting sounds. After deactivating the inflammation that kept the nerve wire tense and fragile, it's time for epimedium and tribulus terrestris to repair it. A 2021 experimental study has shown that epimedium, a small Mediterranean herb, has the unique ability to help the brain recover after radiation-induced injury, as well as prevent stroke and neuropsychiatric conditions. This little-known plant does this by continuously regulating neuroinflammation, rehabilitating the affected brain cells and nerves, and helping with the development of new ones. While epimedium is reconstructing the faulty wire, tribulus terrestris protects it against external factors like toxins and free radicals while keeping headaches and migraines away. Tribulus has been used in Indian Ayurvedic medicine for centuries as a pain and vertigo reliever, and modern medicine now recognizes more and more of its impressive antidepressant effects. Step 3. Repair and regenerate your nerves to erase any damage done by tinnitus. Even when your tinnitus is gone, its devastating effects on your nervous system and brain cells can still cause a lot of harm in time. Dong Quai is considered a superior tonic. While it supports the survival of brain cells, it clears any trace of toxicity in the brain and helps neurons heal 5 times faster. When people consumed this herb in the lab, scientists measured a whopping 78.7% improvement in brain function. Dong Quai can also help with hearing impairments, making your ears sharper. Moira Puama doubles the effectiveness of Dong Quai thanks to its strong antioxidants that are able to cross the blood-brain barrier, scavenge the free radicals from the nerve cells, and therefore erase the damage caused by oxidation. More importantly, Moira Puama promotes new cell growth and nerve regeneration. Step 4. Rebuild and rejuvenate your brain cells to improve neural network communication. Here's where Quietum powder and Damiana come in. Quietum powder comes from the bark of trees found in the depth of the Brazilian rainforest. Quietum is actually a tribal word, meaning what gives one strength. In a study published in Neurochemical Research in 2012, researchers reported Quietum balances the blood flow to the brain, oxygenating neural networks and increasing the communication speed between cells. Thanks to its neuroprotective qualities, Quietum can prevent strokes and treat fatigue, stress, and memory deficit. After your neural networks have been properly oxygenated, Damiana, a wild South American shrub, comes in to regulate the organic substances in your brain and central nervous system. For example, since this shrub can control melatonin production, you'll find yourself enjoying a deep sleep that allows your networks to be completely rebuilt. Damiana also protects the brain against neurodegeneration and aging, while lifting depression and removing anxiety. This, in turn, will help your cells connect 24/7. Step 5. Supercharge your brain, strengthen your nerves, and take your mental health to the next level. This is where your mind and body get superpowers with ashwagandha and piperine. People have used ashwagandha for thousands of years to relieve anxiety, increase energy levels, and improve concentration, all for good reason. Ashwagandha is a super strong adaptogen, a substance that helps the body cope with and regulate stress. This evergreen shrub protects neurons from trauma and proved to increase mental alertness during a study in 50 adults ages 65 to 80. Its benefits don't stop here. It improves attention, reaction time, performance, short and long-term memory, as well as the speed of learning new information. Piperine, the bioactive compound of pepper, improves the synchronization of nerve activity in the brain and prevents cell death. Researchers noted in a study published in the 2010 issue of Biological and Pharmaceutical Bulletin that piperine controls the flow of calcium, helping your neurons send messages to each other and therefore work in perfect harmony. Step 6. Bulletproof your entire nervous system and never worry about hearing diseases or brain disorders again. Finally, the military doctors and scientists made sure the formula protects the human body against tinnitus, memory loss, or other debilitating conditions by combining sarsaparilla root and asparagus. Sarsaparilla is a tropical plant called by scientists the synergist because it helps brain cells and organic substances interact and collaborate effectively. In 5 long-term studies, sarsaparilla reduced the damage caused to the brain cells by Alzheimer's, Parkinson, and stroke. Moreover, sarsaparilla is considered one of the most effective neurotoxin cleaners and an outstanding nerve tissue protector. Asparagus reinforces the neuroprotection by keeping plaque buildup at bay, boosting cognitive function, and helping regulate the body's sleep schedule long term. At the same time, it can enhance your memory in as little as a few days. To make the formula even more powerful, we decided to add 9 key vitamins and cell-building amino acids. Vitamin A to improve hearing even more and reduce the risk of hearing loss. Vitamins B1, B3, B6, B12, and B5 to nourish and reinforce the brain-ear connection. Zinc to support your immune system through your tinnitus recovery. L-tyrosine to further empower the production of feel-good organic substances in your brain like serotonin, dopamine, or norepinephrine. And L-arginine to balance your blood pressure and blood sugar. After seeing all the data, I just couldn't believe my eyes. Every ingredient was 100% natural. Absolutely no substances or chemicals. Some ingredients I had never even heard of, while others, it would have taken me years to even think how they can pair up and do wonders for ear buzzing. It was clear they weren't your ordinary internet natural remedies recommendations for tinnitus. All in all, the formula was a work of art. But my enthusiasm was curbed by a new problem. If I were to produce the mix myself, I would have to spend days trying to source the purest ingredients from all over the world and thousands of dollars to buy them. Then, weeks to extract the seeds, leaves, and flowers. At the end, I would have to dry them out, grind them down, and adjust the ratios. The result, I would have enough of the mixture to last for a week or so. I needed a plan B fast. I thought that if I bought the ingredients in bulk and contacted a large, modern, yet discreet manufacturing facility in the USA, that could take care of everything. I could produce this potent mixture in the quantity I wanted and in tiny, easy-to-swallow capsules. That's when I started to chase my manufacturing facilities. As per Dr. S's advice, I had one non-negotiable request. The ingredients needed to be the real thing. Pure, sourced from local growers that let plants naturally reach their full maturity and use no herbicides. 100% effective, prepared the right way and in the right amount in order to keep their properties intact. Safe, processed under strict sterile standards with regularly disinfected equipment. You wouldn't believe how many counterfeits are on the market. I remember I jumped for joy when I found a facility that was both FDA registered and GMP certified, that had a high-level disinfection policy to keep any germs or viruses at bay. Yes, including corona. Since the proprietary blend is 100% natural, I didn't have to wait for approval to make my first batch. I had one last thing to do: test it. Of course, I could hardly wait to try it. After the first pill, I didn't feel a thing. Well, I did feel hope, which is still something when you've been suffering for years. Then something changed. I couldn't tell exactly what. Let's say I was more serene and I could be more present in conversations. And soon after this, my heart stood still. In just a split second, my tinnitus went from head splitting to moderate. It was like I could breathe again. I remember my whole body relaxing at once. I was even more shocked by what followed. My mind just cleared up. I could focus for long periods of time, and I was sleeping like a baby. No matter what came my way, I was incredibly calm. Not long after this, the horrible ringing was almost unnoticeable, and my anxiety and depression was quickly lifting. Moreover, my hand tremors stopped. I was waking up full of energy, and even my libido was skyrocket high, a side effect I had never expected. And sooner than I expected, all my tinnitus symptoms had disappeared. Not only that, but my memory was amazing. I could recite entire chapters from my anatomy books without looking at the pages even once. My students were astonished, thinking I was playing some kind of trick on them. So even though my tinnitus was gone, I kept taking the formula for a few more weeks just to see what would happen. After a couple of more weeks, I could focus better and my brain fog was definitely gone. I was incredibly relaxed and serene most of the day completely, and when the night came, I slept a profound, refreshing sleep. After a couple of months or so, it was like I had a brand new brain. My mind was sharp and I was thinking incredibly fast. Plus my old migraines had disappeared and I could hear like a bat. Sounds that weren't noticeable to my wife, like our neighbor's sprinklers, I could hear them with amazing clarity. Surely enough, I had broken the curse of tinnitus. You bet I wanted to get the formula into the hands of as many people as possible. But I wondered, if it worked for me, would it really work for everyone? I needed to test it on more people who suffered from tinnitus, as well as other impairments like hearing loss, anxiety, or insomnia. People whose brain nerves were screaming help at that very moment. They had to be dealing with severe ear buzzing for at least 1 year. If they had tried all sorts of solutions with no success, the better. After writing to all my friends and asking for people who might be willing to test a one-of-a-kind formula, I had a total of 53 people ready to embark on my experiment. The results were greater than my wildest dreams. Without exception, and within a few weeks, all 53 volunteers reported dramatic improvements. Not a single person reported getting the high-pitched or low-pitched ringing in their ears anymore. They didn't hear any clicking, pulsing, or roaring. Plus, a few of those dealing with hearing loss could hear almost every sound at full volume again, and even gave up their hearing aids altogether. The ones that decided to continue taking it for longer said their memory and concentration were stronger than ever, like their brain was recharged. Their bodies felt brand new too. My subjects were experiencing bursts of energy and restful sleep all through the night. No anxiety, lack of focus, or headaches. I was receiving one message after another. All volunteers were overwhelmed and kept asking for more of our plant-based wonder capsules. It was clear as daylight that I had a mission. I couldn't keep this life-saving treatment all to myself. With Dr. S's approval, I decided to produce more of the supplement and make it available for everybody who's tormented by tinnitus. I called it Quietum Plus, the only 100% natural blend that addresses the root cause of tinnitus, a faulty brain wire connecting your ears to your brain. We've sourced the purest, highest quality 21 plant extracts and put the exact quantities into an easy-to-swallow capsule to take once a day. Every capsule is manufactured in the USA in our FDA-approved and GMP-certified facility under sterile, strict, and precise standards. Quietum Plus capsules are non-GMO and safe. They do not contain any dangerous stimulants or toxins, and they are not habit-forming. And even though muting your tinnitus is as easy as ABC, the formula is more powerful than any diet or method on the planet, because it does not only bulletproof you against ear ringing, hissing, screeching, or other hearing disorders, it transforms your brain cells and nervous system while skyrocketing your energy levels and improving your memory and clearing your mind. Roughly 200,000 people have already changed their bodies inside and out with Quietum Plus. People like...
I think this life-saving treatment has done much more than just fix the faulty buzzing wire in my brain. It's fixed all my wires. On top of having tinnitus, I also had depression, brain fog, and I was forgetting things all the time. Now, my mind is crystal clear. My brain is sharp. I am so focused and so calm. My family doesn't even recognize me now. It has quieted my mind. And on top of that, I can sleep through the night like a baby. My son is also taking the product. He's in his 30s. He doesn't have tinnitus, but he is an insomniac. And you know what? He said the other day, "Mom, now I can sleep."
It's like a terrible curse has been lifted or something. I feel so blessed and alive. I had a buzzing in my right ear and an annoying pulsing sensation in my left ear all the time before starting this treatment. All gone now. And after 2 months, guess what? My brain fog disappeared. As I got older, I used to fear a lot of things, like severe memory loss and hand tremors. Not anymore. I feel like I found the fountain of youth or something.
Just threw my hearing aids away. You heard that right. Seeing how good I feel, I don't think I'll ever need them. For 5 years, it felt like there was a tea kettle inside my brain. Now, it's all silence. I have a lot more energy and my mood keeps getting better. I'm telling everyone I know about this.
All you have to do in order to achieve the same dramatic improvements in your hearing and mental and brain health is to start using it as soon as possible. The solution is much simpler than you think, and you can get access to everything in the next 90 seconds. If you're ready to give up the burden of ear ringing and bring comfort and satisfaction back into your life, if you're ready to say yes to this big change, you first need to ask yourself, how much is it worth to you to be in full control of what you hear and when? No fears, no health risks, feeling like a brand new person who's always in a good mood. Even though Dr. S recommended I sell a 30-day supply of Quietum Plus for no less than $997, considering the 1 year of ingredient research, work and tests that we have invested, and even though my wife suggested $597, seeing how serene and sociable I am now, while our suppliers would have asked for $397 just for the high quality of the ingredients. And even though many of the 200,000 people who got to experience Quietum Plus said they would gladly pay triple, this isn't about money for me. I'll never forget what I felt when I saw the terror in my little daughter's eyes, when I screamed like a madman and punched the walls in anger. Nor the haunting look in my wife's eyes when I pushed her away when all she wanted was to help me. The image will forever be burned into my memory. Or the thought of always being at risk of serious brain conditions and psychological conditions, one step away from going crazy, not knowing if I'll ever get to live another quiet day again. I never want anyone to feel as helpless, angry, or embarrassed as I did. That's why I'll never ask for $597 or $397 or half of that. I just want to cover the cost of the ingredients and keep this site running for as long as I can. Even though I'll have to charge $99 for one bottle of Quietum Plus soon. And one bottle, as far as I know, is certainly less than a pointless visit to a specialist or the cost of chemical-filled meds. The fact that you gave me your trust and stayed with me all through this presentation means a lot. That is why you can get a bottle of Quietum Plus for as little as $1.50 a day, with our most popular package for only $49 a bottle. That's right, $49 a bottle if you choose our popular 6-bottle package. If you order only one bottle, we will not be able to give you the bulk discount, and it will cost you slightly more. Even so, it's still a very small price to pay for a lifetime of peace and quiet. If you choose the 1-bottle package, you get a 30-day supply of Quietum Plus for a one-time fee of $69. That's right, just $69. Before you order, Dr. S, who has seen the effects of Quietum Plus on a lot of patients and has run a lot of tests, recommends you take this supplement for at least 90 days, just to make 100% sure all your brain cells are rejuvenated and the brain wire is completely rebuilt. Honestly, we cannot estimate exactly how damaged your brain wire and nerves are at this point. This depends on many factors, such as how old your tinnitus is, your medical history, your overall state of health, and lifestyle choices, etc. If you are dealing with tinnitus for just a few days, one bottle might be enough. However, if you're dealing with ear ringing for more than a month, after seeing the positive results of more than 190,000 people suffering from moderate and chronic tinnitus, we recommend you take at least 3 bottles, especially since it could take more than 75 days to clear the deterioration caused by ear ringing. Now, if you've been dealing with tinnitus for more than 6 months, or if you want to significantly decrease your risk of memory disorders and bulletproof your nervous system well into old age, 6 bottles of Quietum Plus are all you need. This means the longer you take Quietum Plus, the better you feel. The stronger your brain wire and brain networks get, while your tinnitus fades away by the day, all is left in peace and quiet. Your progress improves exponentially every single day. Your mind becomes razor sharp, and it would be a shame to be so close to never having to deal with ear ringing, brain fog, or anxiety, just to notice you're out of Quietum Plus. But here's the thing. Missing one day of Quietum Plus might lead to an immediate weakening of your ear-brain wire and risk compromising or slowing down your entire process, while having to wait for months even for a new batch of this rare blend to be available again. And when it finally is, if we manage to get all the ingredients again, that is, you might realize that their price is twice as high. Today, you can get our 3- and 6-month package at an incredibly steep discount. But that's not all. If you're smart and order the 3- or 6-month supply, you'll also get 2 bonus online guides worth $109, an absolutely free bonus. Sharp ears, 1-minute natural tips to hear like a ninja. Kickstart your Quietum Plus journey by using quick and efficient hacks that can do wonders in no time. Find out the 3 gentle yoga poses that boost your hearing and stop hearing loss in its track. The incredibly potent veggie that can restore cochlear damage and perfect hearing even after a blast exposure. The simple tip that makes sure your earbuds don't cause hearing loss. And discover how heating up a seasoning can clear any ear infection overnight. Deep Sleeper, how to get the best sleep of your life in just 7 days. You'll find out how easy it is to trick your mind into falling asleep in literal minutes with 3 odd but extremely efficient doctor-approved techniques. The simple adjustment to the position of your head that will have you sleep like a baby all through the night. The 4 mouth and throat quick exercises that drastically reduce snoring, as well as the 5 heavy sleep pressure points that even long-term insomniacs swear by. Please take into account that Quietum Plus is selling incredibly fast, and once it will be sold out, it will take me 6 to 9 months to produce a new batch, as we're willing to accept only the purest ingredients, otherwise its efficiency would be compromised. And sure enough, searching and sourcing for the most potent ingredients around the world delays things considerably. Next, we ask a third-party lab to test the quality of each ingredient to ensure you get the highest quality so that the bacteria strains are alive and kicking and actually do their best work. Finally, they're released to our contract manufacturer here in the USA for bottling. We don't receive the batch in our warehouse until the formula passes all tests, As you can see, that's a lot of steps that involve a lot of people. However, with everything going on in the world right now, our distribution faces a lot of challenges. And with rising demand, according to our estimations, Quietum Plus will soon be out of stock. Therefore, if you decide not to try it today, I can't promise it will be available later. Think about it. Right as you're watching this video, thousands of people across the country are rediscovering what it's like to have a quiet and clear mind. Happy to enjoy peace every single day without hearing a beep out of tinnitus, and being confident their brain health will be protected well into old age. So no wonder they keep asking us for more bottles for them and for their dear ones. That's why Quietum Plus is still available. I urge you not to wait if you're still on the fence. Of course, we're committed to supporting you every way that we can. So we're going to let you order a batch of 3 or 6 bottles for a huge discount. Plus, with every order made today, you'll also get free shipping. The 3 and 6 bottle packages even come with free shipping. How does that sound? Take a look below. Once you order, you'll be taken to a secure checkout page. Just fill in your payment details using a credit card or debit card. Immediately after you fill in your information and confirm your order, your bottle of Quietum Plus will be shipped for free right to your doorstep. If you order the 3 bottle or 6 bottle package, which we recommend as we estimate will run out of stocks anytime soon, you'll also take advantage of a huge discount. Just click below to select your package. Your order today is a one-time payment with no subscription or hidden charges. All you need to keep in mind is that Quietum Plus can be found only on this page and is not available for purchase anywhere else. If you see Quietum Plus on any other site other than this one, know it's fake and you buy it at your own risk. There are a lot of copycats out there, so if you see Quietum Plus on Amazon, Etsy, or any other online store, know it is definitely fake and you should report it immediately. So make no mistake, this site you are on right now is your only chance to grab this exclusive formula. Once again, Quietum Plus is selling very fast, and once it will be sold out, it'll take me 6 to 9 months to restock on the rare ingredients and produce another batch. In the meantime, I'm getting threats from the tinnitus industry giants, and risking your family's safety is not something that you can do for a long time. Make your choice below. If you're skeptical, I totally get you. You've tried a lot of methods, you've spent a lot of money, and nothing worked. I am so confident that Quietum Plus works that I'm going to give you our ironclad 60-day money-back guarantee. If you don't experience any dramatic improvement, or you're not content for any reason whatsoever, we will issue a full refund. All you need to do is contact us within the first 60 days from your purchase. It doesn't matter if you used up the entire bottle. We will give you your money back. This means you have 2 whole months to decide if Quietum Plus is for you or not. No hidden fees or subscriptions, just a safe and secure one-time simple payment. Choose the package you want below. Listen, when you think about it, you really only have 2 choices ahead of you right now. Option 1, stop following this presentation and leave the page. Do nothing. Keep going the way you are now, with that gruesome, unceasing sound following you everywhere, risking brain conditions, psychological disorders, and even deafness. Keep being frustrated that nothing works. Live with your tinnitus for the following months or even years, while feeling isolated from everyone else. It's not going to be pleasant. Option 2, risk nothing at all today. Grab Quietum Plus right now and you'll be surprised at how well it works, how clear your mind can be, and how peaceful your days. So just click below to make your choice. Enter your payment details on our secure order form and we'll place the order. We'll immediately ship your bottles directly to your home. Remember, every 3 and 6 month package comes with a deep discount and 2 bonuses worth $109. And every order comes with free shipping, no matter where you live. I can't wait for you to experience every single benefit that Quietum Plus has to offer. Still here? Great. I wanted to take a second and answer the most common questions I get about Quietum Plus. I just want to make sure you feel 100% comfortable with your decision to order today. 1. How do I know Quietum Plus will work for me? According to the latest research, Tinnitus goes much deeper than your ears. Inside your brain, it's all linked to a wire that carries the electrical signals and sounds from your ear cells to your brain networks. Ear ringing and whooshing happen when this wire gets damaged and messes up sound. The solution is to feed, regenerate, and rebuild it so it will be in perfect harmony with your brain and carry sounds perfectly. All the ingredients from Quietum Plus address both this membrane that connects the ears to the brain, hair cells, and the brain networks. They are backed by hundreds of clinical studies. They combine powerful plants with modern medicine and technology, and they've helped tens of thousands of people around the world already. I have personally seen how much they can help, even after years of tinnitus. Not only am I sure it will work, but I think it will greatly benefit your brain health as well. 2. Is Quietum Plus safe? Quietum Plus has been designed for all ages and medical conditions in order to naturally support your brain and auditory system. Quietum Plus has high-quality natural ingredients manufactured in an FDA-approved facility under sterile, strict, and precise standards. Each of the ingredients that goes into Quietum Plus is tested for purity and to ensure against toxins and contaminants. As always, if you currently have a medical condition or you're taking other prescription medication, we advise you to show a bottle of this supplement to your doctor before you take it, just to put your mind at ease. 3. Can you tell me about the guarantee again? The more results we see, the stronger we believe Quietum Plus has the power to completely regenerate the brain networks and rebuild the faulty wire that causes tinnitus. It's true, though, that nothing works for 100% of the people who try it, as each body works in its own way. That's why every bottle of Quietum Plus comes with an ironclad 60-day money-back guarantee. If for any reason you aren't fully satisfied with the results, you can just return what you haven't used for a full, no-question-asked refund. 4. How long will the supplement be available to the public? Well, I'm not really sure. But history has shown us that the tinnitus industry is not afraid to spend millions of dollars in legal fees to remove something that threatens its very existence. If you think about it, that makes sense. Wouldn't you spend $1 million in lawyer costs to protect a business that's expected to reach $2 billion? This page could be taken down tomorrow or in a couple of hours. That's why I strongly suggest you make a decision today. 5. How many bottles should I order? We recommend ordering the largest amount so you can stock up and make sure your body, brain, and ears take full advantage of the long-term benefits of Quietum Plus. Moreover, Quietum Plus is selling very fast, and it can take up to 9 months before we can resupply, as we are willing to accept only the purest ingredients. Ordering the largest amount is also the best deal for you. We've set it up so that you can save more than 30% over our one-bottle option. Plus, our money-back guarantee is valid no matter how many bottles you order, so there's no risk in stocking up. So all you have to do today is click below. Fill in your payment details on our secure order form and submit your order. I can't wait to hear your success story.